Howdy friendos, and welcome to a video that I hope won't get blasted by YouTube's broken copyright system. Today we are going to be looking at two characters who changed the face of Disney, the creepy side of YouTube, and the much creepier parts of the Wincesternet. And those are Elsa and Anna from the massively successful movies Frozen 1 and Frozen 2. However, before we begin, I absolutely must state my biases going forward, because you guys know I like to give you as much information as possible before I do an essay on something. I absolutely love Frozen 1. It's got good characters, good songs, and quite a few Nat 20 scenes. That being said, I absolutely hate Frozen 2. I'll get into it, but it's pretty much the same reason I dislike most things. Poor writing, poor character moments, and worst of all, there are politically driven scenarios and character decisions that are written to the story that absolutely harm the narrative and the meta of what they're trying to say. Be prepared for those infamous Stuart dislikes a thing at the end of the video. Just wanted to warn you ahead of time. Frozen 1 is going to get quite a few Nat 20s, and Frozen 2 is going to have a lot of spicy takes that I'm sure will rub quite a few people the wrong way. But I do want to thank everyone who have always taken my hot takes with the grain of salt and the respect that it always deserves. And I appreciate that. I don't know how we managed it, but we have one of the healthiest disagreements in our comments section ever. Yay! Thank you. Anyway, the two characters that we're looking at today are the two princesses of the fictional country of Arendelle. Our two characters grew up as relatively normal sisters that were as close as most young siblings could be. However, the eldest sister, Elsa, possessed magical powers that allowed her to control and create ice and snow. She would often use these powers to play and bond with her younger sister Anna, and the two sisters grew up without knowing much about these abilities or where they come from. One evening, while the girls were playing, Elsa accidentally hurt Anna with a magical burst that began to freeze her from the inside out. Yikes. Thinking quickly, their parents rushed to a clan of nearby rock trolls who managed to remove the damaging ice, but in order to do so, also had to remove the memories of Elsa having ice powers. Fearing a second worst-case scenario, Elsa and her parents elected to suppress her powers and abilities by hiding her off from Anna and the rest of the world. Tragedy struck one day as their parents died while they were searching for more information about Elsa's powers, leaving both Elsa and Anna as orphans without any real direction. This tragedy caused both girls to isolate themselves further from each other and keep themselves in the castle until the beginning of the movie, where Elsa would formally be crowned as queen. At the beginning of the movie, Elsa is lawful neutral. She cut herself off from the rest of the world at the urging of her parents and her own fear. She is doing what she thinks is best for herself and her sister, and is living like this at the urging of other people. She lives by the mantra,
conceal it.
Don't feel it.
Don't let it show.
And sticks to that as best she can. Until she explodes, of course. Anna, however, is a much different character. Anna is a carefree and bubbly girl with loads of energy and love for herself and everyone else around her. She does what she can do to bond with her sister, but is also just kind of nice to everyone. I think it's a pretty easy neutral good to start the films. Obviously, they both have changes of heart by the end of the movies, but with that out of the way, let's go.
Tara, she's on the move. There's nothing she can't do. She dreams of quitting her job and starting a travel blog.
How did you know that?
I might have read your diary. Yeah.
Throughout the course of their lives, Elsa and Anna have isolated themselves to the castle. This would be neutral for both, which doesn't mean much for Anna, but Elsa, I think, deserves the ding, especially since she chose to skip out on her parents' funeral. True neutral.
The bells, the coronation. I better go. I have to go.
Elsa attends her coronation and performs her duties as needed, despite the fact that she can't quite control her powers. Lawful neutral.
Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?
Can I say something even crazier? Yes.
Anna gets engaged to a man she just met that day. Chaotic neutral. Elsa is flabbergasted and responds,
You can't marry a man you just met.
This escalates into an argument where Elsa accidentally unleashes her powers. Chaotic neutral for both of them. And Elsa gets one extra for running away afterwards. Chaotic neutral.
She didn't mean it. She didn't mean any of this. Tonight was my fault. I pushed her, so I'm the one that needs to go after her.
What?
Taking responsibility for your actions would normally be lawful good, but literally everyone says this is a bad idea, and they're absolutely correct. Anna is doing the right thing, but looking before she leaps. Chaotic good.
Let it go.
Back, you foul beasts! You will not take down this video! Not while the mighty Edithor is on the job! I have no fear! Hey, remember me?
And I'll rise like the break of dawn.
This song is just as good as you remember it is. Plus, Elsa is declaring that she'll be dedicating her life to herself and doing what she wants and leaving the past behind her. Just good stuff, chaotic neutral. That's so fucking good. Oh my god, I can't get over it.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't. We leave now. Right now.
Anna finances the expedition up to the North Mountain where Elsa is at. She even supplies Kristoff with carrots and other equipment. This arrangement is mutually beneficial to everyone involved. Lawful good.
Eye color.
Dreamy.
Foot size.
Foot size doesn't matter.
Good on you, Anna. After escaping the wolves, Anna is rescued by Kristoff after he rescues her. Neutral good.
When I finally do what frozen things do in summer.
I'm gonna tell him.
Don't you dare.
Alright, played for laughs, yes, but she is letting Olaf live a fantasy despite the dangers it would actually cause him, just so that he could have a happy moment during the song. Chaotic good.
We can be like that again.
Anna tries to convince Elsa to come back to Arendelle. She basically says, nah, I'm good, dude. Neutral. Oh, also, lawful good for Anna for doing this, since it's duty bound, so to speak. Lawful good.
Arendelle's in deep, 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 deep snow.
This gives Elsa a surprisingly realistic panic attack. Honestly, I wouldn't count this as anything if she didn't then conjure Marshmallow to chase them out of the castle that she made. Chaotic good.
We got her.
No, please.
Considering Elsa is defending herself against people using crossbows and she's using a non-deadly force, I'd say this is neutral good.
Anna! You're so cold.
Hans, you have to kiss me.
What?
Now.
Oh,
now.
slow down.
Anna tells Hans about what Elsa did, thinking he could kiss her to melt her frozen heart, which leads to a really weird villain reveal. But other YouTubers have done better videos on that, so let's just focus on the princess. Lawful neutral for Anna.
Hurry up! She's dangerous. Move quickly.
Elsa breaks out. Considering they were going to execute her, I don't really blame her. Chaotic neutral. Saving your sister from your ex. Pretty neutral good.
An act of true love will thaw a frozen heart.
Love.
I mean, Elsa fixes everything she froze. This is pretty neutral considering she just kinda is given the answer and chills out. Neutral.
Hands down, this is the best day of my life, and quite possibly the last.
Oh, Olaf. Hang on, little guy.
Saving Olaf might be chaotic evil to some people, but it's actually neutral good.
The only frozen heart around here is yours.
There is a whole lot of technically in play, so I'm just gonna say chaotic neutral since he definitely deserves it. And the fact that Hans got sent back to his country with no other real repercussions is shockingly merciful. Lawful good. During this song sequence, Elsa and Anna prep for a festival. They have ruled for the past few years for the good of their people. I'm just gonna say lawful good.
Hans!
Unredeemable monster.
Greatest mistake of your life. We didn't even kiss you.
Villain.
Oh. We all kind of got it. Okay.
Honestly, the charade scene is just absolutely a Nat 20 scene. It shows how out of sync Anna and Elsa are while giving some very clear examples on how they take their time to bond as a family unit. Just a single neutral good for all of their family care in general.
Yeah! Is that all you got, mouse?
Hell no! This is all I got!
You had to ask.
First of all, Nat 20 song, never say I don't give credit to where credit is due. This song slaps hard. Let It Go, I think, is just a little bit better, but this is just straight up an adventure song. A hot dang. Anyway, Elsa awakens the spirit of the Enchanted Forest. How she knows how to do that or whatever isn't clear, but she says she did it on purpose when talking to Anna later. She's answering the literal call to adventure despite admitting in the song that she shouldn't. I'm gonna say chaotic neutral?
Remember our first trip like this when I said you'd have to be crazy to want to marry a man you just met?
Wait, what? Crazy? You didn't say I was crazy. You think I'm crazy?
Here we go. Anna isn't this dumb. She just kinda goes off the rails here on Kristoff, and it's really just really bad. That one scene, like, this is just really bad, and it really says a lot of bad things about Anna, and it happens so many times. Even if you want to make the argument that Anna is in a fragile state because of Elsa, like, she's still acting crazy irrational, and it almost seems like she's actively looking for an argument. Chaotic neutral.
What are these?
Oh, they look like moments in time.
How did you know that? Did the script tell you that?
Bet you're wondering who we are and why we're here. It's really quite simple.
Elsa and Olaf, in admittedly one of the funniest scenes of the movie, stop the fight and give a quick recap of Frozen 1 and their quest to the two factions and force the fighting to stop. I'm just gonna lump this whole thing into a quick lawful good.
We only trust nature. When nature speaks, we listen.
A fire spirit attacks. Elsa goes into action and starts putting out the fire and honestly getting a pretty badass moment. Neutral good. While Anna charges in and puts herself in danger and tries to protect her, despite the fact that Elsa kind of had this handled, though. Chaotic good.
How do you guys cope with the ever-increasing complexity of thought that comes with maturity? Brilliant!
Over the course of the night, Elsa and Anna check on the morale of both the Northaldrins and the Andrelian soldiers. Lawful good.
Guys, that was close.
I know. The giant sensed me.
This adds up, I guess. Elsa leaves camp to go follow the stone giants and to make sure the camp can't be found. Anna naturally wants to follow her. All reasonable. When Anna looks for Kristoff and Sven, they realize that they're not at camp. It's unclear what happened exactly, and you may call me out and say this is reaching, but like, when you split up like this, it's customary to make plans or establish a rendezvous point. Kristoff just gets told that they left. No explanation as to why or whatever. They just left. I'm going to say neutral good for Elsa and chaotic good for Anna, mostly because I think even she would know better and she's just being really thoughtless. All you had to do was leave a message saying, hey, stick with the soldiers, or stay with the natives and we'll meet up later. This bothers me a lot.
Don't do this alone. Let me help you, please. I can't lose you, Elsa.
Another complicated scenario. Elsa and Anna found out that their parents died to uncover some mysteries about Elsa's magic. Elsa feels guilty and Anna comforts her and says that they should go to the magic source together because Anna doesn't want to risk Elsa getting lost or dying. Elsa then sends Anna away for her own protection. This sends Anna careening away at frickin' ludicrous speeds, and Anna could have easily died during this. Neutral good for Anna, chaotic good for Elsa.
She promised me we'd do this together.
Elsa tames the water knock. That's apparently its name, and rides off with it to Holland. Neutral.
TheLoadingCrew! I told you, you won't block this vid.
So this song is gorgeous, and it's really good. I won't give it a Nat 1 scene, but it is really confusing. I'll talk about this more in the post-analysis section. I just don't have enough space here. Elsa finds herself, I guess, and becomes the final spirit and the Snow Queen. So, neutral, I guess?
Grandfather?
Magic makes people feel too powerful, too entitled. It makes them think they can defy the will of a king.
I will give this scene a nat 1, though. Again, I'll talk about this more later, but basically Elsa learns that her father is a colonizer, I guess, and was the only one who actually betrayed the Northaldrins and struck first. She uncovers more about their past before being frozen in an abyss. She sends a message to Anna explaining what happened before she dies.
The next right thing.
Okay, admittedly, this is one of my favorite discussions about alignment. However, believe me when I say I'm only excited because I like this sort of healthy discussion. Because I know for a fact everyone is going to have a different opinion on this. Anna breaks the dam, which was damaging the forest and trapping the Northaldrins in that land. Right. Destroying the dam freed them and the spirits. But she did it at the cost of knowing it would destroy her kingdom of Arendelle. Not only that, it would make her people utterly homeless. Now, she made a promise to her people that she would return to them, but she also promised that she would free the natives. So, what do we classify this as? Chaotic or lawful good? She is honor-bound to both people, but she is breaking a promise to one of them. I'm choosing to say neutral good, since it kind of fits into the themes of the movie, doing the next right thing. But like, this is a fun and messy discussion. If you had said lawful because she's honor-bound to the right thing, I'd agree. Or if you said chaotic good since it would utterly ruin the lives of her subjects, that's fair too. For now, I will split the difference and call it neutral good. But then Elsa completely ruins any nuance by protecting the town anyway, so neutral good.
Is it really you?
Anna.
Elsa does apologize to Kristoff, neutral good, and Elsa brings Olaf back to life, also neutral good.
I mean, I presume we're done. Or is this putting us in mortal danger situation gonna be a regular thing?
No, we're done.
So it's not an especially hot take to criticize Frozen 2, but I still want to talk about why I really dislike and no longer really respect the franchise. Behind the scenes of the Frozen movies are an absolute mess, with rewrites and reanimations and redos happening all the time. Most people know that Elsa was supposed to be the main villain of the first Frozen movie, but Idina Menzel was so goddamn charming and such a good singer that Let It Go, still a Nat 20 song, pretty much changed the movie single-handedly. This change of direction to make the villain of the movie the two sisters' relationships was really good and revolutionary, but unfortunately destroyed pretty much any potential for the series to become a long-lasting franchise because now a tone was set. Despite the magic and high fantasy, Frozen is an interpersonal journey whose themes are about family, relationships, and the meaning of love. Which means the sequel better focus on that rather than an epic magical conflict, or it's going to feel off. Frozen 2, God, this movie wants so bad to feel as big and as important as the first one, and decides the best way to do that is to tackle a whole bunch of really big and important themes while having to conform to Disney whitewashing. Elsa's journey is a quest of self-discovery, where a voice is pulling her into a magical location where suddenly she will understand everything about herself. She pushes away all of her friends and family, singing this song that has been described as a coming-out piece of queer empowerment, only to realize that the answer is Mom. Are you kidding me? What the hell even is that? What does that mean? On a writing and story decision, it's barely a satisfactory mystery, and as a metaphor and empowering message, it completely shits the bed because most troubled LGBT people have massive problems with their family. Are you telling me an LGBT can only self-actualize when their parents secretly accepted them the whole time, when they spent their youth bottled up in their room, hiding themselves from the world? Is that the metaphor? Or, it's okay your parents sucked, they only did what was best for you by telling you to conceal, don't feel? You can say in the comments that I'm too dumb to understand, but if you watch the documentary about the creation of Frozen 2, you'll learn that the writers had no idea what the hell was going on either. Thanks to Disney mandates, they wrote this piece of garbage and flew by the seat of their pants all the way up to the release date. It's bad. Oh, and don't get me started on Anna and Kristoff. In movie 1, their relationship was new and quirky, but in movie 2, they got their shit absolutely kicked in. Kristoff dedicated his whole life to Anna, but she basically treats him like an option C in her list of priorities, and the whole "my love isn't so fragile" line is supposed to be one of those, this is how men are supposed to act in a relationship. Just fuck off! You are not smart enough to be giving this lesson. If this lesson was so important for you to teach, don't make Kristoff's whole emotional turmoil in movie 2 the fact that he's not getting attention from his girlfriend. And if you like his power ballad, it's fine. It's a funny song. I can't blame you for liking it. There's a lot to like in Frozen 2, including a surprisingly good amount of Olaf, but please don't insult me and pretend that Elsa and Anna's themes and lessons were too complicated for me to understand, because it's a hot mess. And the excuse that this is a kids movie isn't any good either, because if you want to teach kids anything, the lesson needs to be crystal clear and easy to understand. And I'm sorry to longtime fans who just want to see the satisfying dings. I know these videos have kind of devolved from what alignment is this to Stuart secretly reviews movies. And that's because the alignment question really should be an examination of character development, and the characters in Frozen are being developed around half-baked writing and themes that are not organic character growth. Oh, and Frozen 2 had the absolute balls to drop a movie about displacing indigenous people, reparations, and the sins of the past, while the happy ending is instilling a pasty white queen as their ruler. And they did this while releasing it in theaters on Thanksgiving. And people wonder why I hate it when people put their politics first and character writing second. TLDR, movie 1 is really good and the themes were natural. I do wish Hans was handled better, but yeah, it's fine. Frozen 2 is actually damaging, and I refuse to let my daughter watch it. There's your hot take. Thank you to the patrons, and I'll see you next time.